Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and let's get ready for EJ Boxing Live.
The big fight this weekend is off. Conor Benn against Chris Eubank Jr. Confirmation in the last few minutes of a story that we reported to you yesterday, and there was much toing and froing after Ben failed a drugs test. He was found to have taken a fertility drug. It was just an A sample, no B sample yet. So the word was that the fighters didn't want to call it off, but the word now from the joint promoters are, after discussions, we have taken the decision to formally postpone the bout. It is undeniable that the British Boxing Board of Control's decision to withdraw their sanctioning was procedurally flawed and without due process, say the promoters. That remains a legal issue between the promoters and the board, which we intend to pursue, say Wasserman Boxing and Matchroom. However, whilst there are legal routes to facilitate the fight taking place as planned, we do not believe that it is in the fighters' interest for those to be pursued at such a late stage or in the wider interests of the sport. As promoters, we take our obligations and duties very seriously, and a full investigation will now need to take place. We will be making no further comment at this time, and news for ticket holder refunds will follow. That detailed statement from the two promoters. Earlier, there had been a statement from the UCAD Chief Executive, Jane Rumble. She said, we note the reporting of a failed voluntary anti-doping tests by Conor Benn with concern. UCAD acts on all reports of doping and always encourages anyone with information on suspected doping activity to come forward and share that with us. But the fight is off, despite suggestions earlier that the promoters would look at legal avenues to keep it on. Any more we get on that later this hour, we'll bring it to you here on Sky Sports News.
Well, there you go. The fight's off, and rightly so, man. You know, correct decision. Gareth A. Davis. Everyone's talking on it right now. The press is gonna come on in about 4 minutes. Let's hear from the Snake, the Warlock, Gareth A. Davis. What did they expect, man? I mean, what did they expect to hear? You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Right decision, do you believe?
Absolutely, it's the right decision. How can you allow a man who's tested positive for a PED, for a banned substance, into a ring with another guy who, in a massive fight that will just bring a huge stain on the sport of boxing? You have to have clarity. There's drug testing for a reason. And if you sign up, Charlie, as you would, to voluntary anti-testing, the voluntary anti-doping association, if it comes up as positive, why on earth should you be allowed to step into the ring? You've signed up for the safety and efficacy of the sport. So it's absolutely the right decision. I can't believe they didn't call this off yesterday and they made the guys do the workouts. But they've been in the High Court today, and it's fascinating to see what they've been looking to do.
Eddie Hearn put a tweet out saying that he would not be promoting the fight with any foreign governing body, whether that be, I think, Maltese was being spoke about, Luxembourg and Germany yesterday. There was also a little bit of confliction between whether it would be a problem with, England leaving the UK leaving the EU and everything. Anyway, looks like it won't be an option now. But how do you believe it would have got a lot of scrutiny if that fight sort of went ahead under another governing body?
No, it's wrong. It's just wrong. It's top line wrong. They could not go ahead with it. Look at what it would have done to boxing. Look at what it would have done to our sport to have someone who has a banned substance in their body, having put a positive test out, that they step into a ring against another boxer. It's morally and ethically wrong. The right decision's been made, but I think what they have been trying to work out in the High Court is whether there is a right for the Boxing Board of Control to stop someone working if it wasn't their test. I think there'll be an inquiry now. The details will be gone over. Conor Benn, maybe they'll get the B sample out and they'll test the B sample. Why hasn't it been tested already is one question we need to ask. And then thereafter, he'll either serve a suspension, a ban, prove his innocence, and then the fight will move forward. And that's satisfactory. For it to go ahead on Saturday night would have been one of the worst moments for boxing this country would ever have seen, regardless of whether people want to see the fight or not.
Well, I spoke up to Eddie yesterday, and he said that he'd known about it for a couple of weeks, and sort of people from Team Wasserman, Chris Eubank Jr. Knew about this. Obviously, it came out. I believe the board would have had to been made aware of that back in August. Are you a little bit surprised that it's only been a problem for the board since it's come out publicly?
Well, I think what happened was they spoke to Chris Eubank Jr. about it behind the scenes. He knew about it and he accepted it. And he accepted their reasons and said, look, I want to go ahead with it. Maybe he does because he doesn't think Conor Benn can hurt him. He's a fighter. But his own safety is at risk here. You know, if something happens to him, it's his safety, but it's the safety of the entire sport. You know, it has to be safety first. It has to be boxers first. Boxers need to be protected from themselves sometimes. And he is being protected from himself here, whether he likes it or not. So therefore, they've obviously talked about it behind the scenes. They've accepted it. But when it was leaked and it came out yesterday, and I knew about it as well, when it came out, I didn't know who it was, but I knew one of them had tested positive. When it came out, it forced the hand of everyone involved. And we saw what DAZN, Wasserman, and Matchroom wanted to do. They wanted to press on with the event. It's an enormous event. It's grown legs. It's a huge event. It's a historical event between the sons of two warring fathers who caused 17 million people in the country to watch their fights 30 years ago, before you were even born. Yeah. So, Cheeky Charlie Parsons, the key is the right decision's been made here. The case needs to be clarified. It's disappointing for everyone. There's people gathered around here, all on the undercard. Some of the fighters have gone home already. Some haven't. Massive media turnout today because it's a very unusual situation. But I can't repeat it enough. The right decision's been made for the morality of the sport.
Where does this leave sort of discussions going forward? Because
this is why the dad lost the plot, you know. That's why the dad's actually, you know, the dad. Everyone, I don't know if you guys know about what happened to the dad. The dad's checked himself into a mental hospital because of this stuff here. Feel for the undercard, those lads, yeah, still have to get paid, yeah, the training camps, pay their own bills, yeah, we're no payday now, yeah, there's no payday now. But you see, Eubank seen that's why he lost the plot. See, they knew from August, man. They knew from August that this was going on, and they still try to push they still try. What kind of people are we dealing with here, man? You're gonna peddle this thing, Eddie Hearn and Nissa Salah or Kala Salah, they should be ashamed of themselves. I can't blame Eubank Jr. He's just starving. He don't know. He ain't too bright. Conor Benn, no words, man. No words. I've interviewed him many a times, man. Nice kid, great kid, but the pressure got too much. You put something in your body that and that's why you was beefed up. That you full of juice, yeah. You're gonna pull it on Eubank, and Eubank's like, yo, go on then. And it's like, yeah, they were gonna put on a good fight, and it's nothing to do with that. But what are you doing? Brilliant. They're not even the same weight class, bro. They're like 2 weight classes of difference. It's like these guys are so desperate for money. They're like, all right, let's do a better between the sons. Have them bash each other up, and we can get paid. I mean, my gosh, and they still was pushing the thing. And then look at Eubank Senior. Look at the casualties, man. The reputation of the British boxing. I mean, it's ridiculous. Oh, we got someone jumped in. Oh, Mo. What's up, Mo? Yes, Mo. What's going on? You're live, bro.
Yeah.
What's going on? Yes, bro. Go on.
Yeah,
give us
it's an interesting combo.
Yeah. Give us your take, bro.
I think that Eubank, I feel sorry for Eubank because Eubank got cheated, made the weight, done everything he was meant to do, and the other guys are cheat. Anyone with Eddie Hearn, I heard they're just I know personally from people that I spoke to, a lot of them are doing that. Eddie Hearn's fighters, and they get away with it.
Are you trying to say that Eddie Hearn, the gym down in Matchroom, enough of them are on that ped? They're on that.
Yeah. I know guys that have been down there, and he knows who they are, but he can't say their names.
Oh, it's like Felix Cash and them, man. There.
yeah, all of them, man. They're all getting superpowers. How they all getting like Conor Benn? It's true though. How's he knocking out all these guys Like, I'm thinking this guy's.
Yeah, you're
I
absolutely right,
think
man.
I thought he was good, and I thought he improved. But I'm thinking, like, he struggled against that French guy who's nowhere near as good as these guys. But these guys, he's knocking them out. And I'm just thinking,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, and he had no amateur. He didn't have no amateur, no.
yeah, not really no amateur fights as well. So this is why I don't like boxing. This is why I get put off it, because people with money can get away with a lot of things, and it's not fair. So if he kills Eubank in the ring, yeah, that means Chris Eubank Sr. loses another son, and that should be murder.
Yeah. With the dad's in the mental hospital right now. Because he knew from August and he knew his son was gonna go ahead with it, and I think that's what drove his son into the sick, isn't it, like, Mo? That's real. Because look, you used to be a professional boxer. What, like, as a former professional boxer, like, would you like what you're hearing? How does it make you feel?
Well, it makes me happy that I'm not fighting over, because it feels like, well, it's like if you're not taking drugs, wait, you're not going nowhere. It's like a lot of fighters are taking it to get a better advantage, and other fighters are taking it because they know certain fighters are taking it. They don't really want to take it, but they have to because the other guy's taking it. So how does that leave? Like, how can you call yourself a champion of the world when you're using drugs to get there? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna have to answer it with Eddie Hearn in a minute, and Nissa, was it Kalla? They're gonna have to answer. They're coming to the press.
He can't answer that, man. He can't answer that, man. He was stuttering under the cameras yesterday, man.
Yeah, he was. I mean,
testing, this testing. I don't know the difference, bro. All I know is the drugs. It's drugs, bro. It doesn't matter what testing it is. There's drugs in the system, bro. I don't know what testing. I don't know the difference, bro. All I know is he's got drugs in his system. That's it.
Yeah. He's got drugs in his system. I mean, boy, like, how would you feel like, obviously, if you was fighting and you found like the next man, one of the guys you fought had that in his system? How would you feel?
I'll be pissed, man. Especially Eubank. Remember, look, he's coming down in weight. He must have lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Money, losing out on money and that. Well, is he gonna get paid though? Do you reckon?
No, I don't think they would be. Bro. You know, you'd know if, like, you know, when you had a fight, Mo, and they cancelled or something like that, you don't get paid.
But that fight there, but it only got cancelled because the guy cheated. So surely he should be getting paid some sort of money, because it's not his fault.
I don't think so. I couldn't imagine. Why would they get paid? There's no one's made no profit. You can't give money out that you're not making back, in it. They ain't got something they can't give back. You know, usually after you fight, after you done your fight, they pay you straight after. Like, they give you something after, and then they give you the rest later. They can't give you before, like, nah, man, because that money ain't gone through. Because remember, you got the pay-per-view, and brother, and the thing is, the exposure of the fight, they've made it the fight bigger than what it is. But I mean, but for these reasons, for the safety of the sport, I mean, bruv, like, honestly, I was feeling depressed a bit, you know.
The sport's finished. Let me just tell you why, You got these YouTubers that come over now. Okay, they're cool. We bring a new audience at the beginning. We understand that. Now they're just taking it for a joke, bro. Now they're just trying to make everyone think that you could do 2 weeks of training and you could be a boxer now, That's ruined it. And they're getting paid more money than we ever get in our careers, in one fight, Second, the Tyson Fury fight and the AJ fight, it's not going through. Like, what the hell's going on? Now that boxing's finished, man. It's not like back in the day with like Mike Tyson or the Lennox Lewis's and the old school fighters like Sugar Ray Robinson, Leonard, and all them lot. It's like them guys are fighting for pride. They're fighting for legacy. Now it's just for money, man. It's just a joke.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's gonna be that bad. Because look, the amateurs is still popping, man. Boxing, there's boxing that people don't even see, and great fights in the amateurs that some people don't see. Yeah, the amateurs is just lit, bro. Like, if you ever, I don't see people asking their money back for no amateur shows, like literally, right? So what I'm saying is, when they turn pro, 50-50 fights all the way down, bro. The way amateur boxing is set. But what I'm saying is that this is just a pro glitch. The thing is, these guys knew from August. The funny thing is, they knew that this was going down, and they went ahead and done it. That's the worst thing. And then on top of that, the weight clause and all that stuff, there playing all these little mind games. The thing is, Canelo, right? Canelo's been doing this to a lot of his opponents anyway, but and taking the steroids, and no one really pulls him up. So a lot of boxing, they've been doing this messed up stuff for a while. You know what I mean? And only now they've come out in England. This is a big thing. It's a big scandal. And you know, Eddie Hearn's reputation, and Sal and Conor Benn, it's gonna be in question. It has to be in question. It's like you actually wanted to.
It has to, man.
It has to be in question. And he had a really good reputation with the fans and that. But You know, I don't know how this he can. You know how people are. 1 week where everyone's against him, next week everyone's good. But you're right. Some of the big fights that made because Eddie Hearn blocked him. He blocked he blocked AJ from fighting Fury. Said he wouldn't put him in there. You know, he's trying to get AJ some money somewhere else. So yeah, it's sad. It's sad though. But in the matchroom, so what you saying down there in the matchroom, they're full of steroids down there.
Yeah, Fury will probably win.
Yeah, Fury probably would. Yeah, probably.
But
He's
man.
another one. He's another one as well.
That's
He
a
got
joke.
banned from the British board. He's another one as well, isn't it? Fury. He was taking drugs as well, Mo. We got loads of comments down here on the side, by the way. Yeah, shout out to everyone in the chat. Why has the British British Boxing Board of Control got out of this blame? Yeah, free. They knew about the same time, yeah, as both camps, yeah, but done nothing until it was leaked. Well, that's a good question. That's a good point. You know what I mean? That's therein lies. That's why the dad went nuts. I mean, if I knew my son was going into that thing, I'd probably go to the nut bags as well. The mental hospital.
Anyway, he was going nuts anyway before the drugs even come out.
No. He went. Remember this thing August. No. Remember he said he wanted to boycott. No, it's around time because remember it's August, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he's around that time. He knew. He didn't actually say what it was, but that's why he said the fight should be boycotted. And I was like, what's he talking about? The fight should be boycotted. And everyone was like, this is confusing, but now it makes sense. Yeah, he knew. Like they all knew this from August, and they still proceed. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I mean, Conor Benn is you know, this is why he's been knocking out guys. And Eubank's just starving for money, innit? He's willing to put his own health at risk and weight and all that stuff. And they've killed the promotion. They've killed it. Anyway, luckily, hopefully we can try and get some other fights on. Oh, Mo's gone. He left out. Oh, never mind. All right, so what else we got here? Well, we're still waiting for the presser. You reckon Eubank's getting paid? Nah, I don't think he'll get no money. Sure no, Conor. I don't think so. Yeah, probably knew it. Yeah, probably they all knew it. Yeah, they all knew it, man. It's all conspiracy, all planned and all them things there. The press, I'm just waiting for the. All right, here we go. We got something happening here. Something's happening. Here we go.
Very difficult day, 24 hours, 48 hours. We were looking forward to an event that has really captured the imagination of the British public, and a fight that had so much history. Myself and Calla and Wasserman Boxing so excited for, but obviously we wanted to come here today and formally announce that Chris Eubank Jr. against Conor Benn has been officially postponed. I want to make it clear that Conor Benn is not suspended by the British Boxing Board of Control. And we do feel that he hasn't been given due process like many others in this situation before him. I also want to clear up so many different reports from journalists and outlets that we've seen today about us being in the High Court this afternoon, us considering other commissions. This is just not true. We took our time with Wasserman Boxing and we made a decision that we felt was in the best interests of the parties involved. This is a sport that is very, very dear to us, a sport that we've been around our entire life. And whilst we were desperate for this fight to take place, for the fans, for the undercard fighters, we also made a decision that we felt we had to at this time, especially considering the interest of the sport and the British public as well. Calla, a few words from you. Obviously been with Chris Eubank Jr. this afternoon. Tough times for him as well, and tough process to be involved with.
Good afternoon. So I've spent, obviously just come from Chris. He's hugely disappointed. He was ready. He was on weight. And he was very much looking forward to this weekend. Feelings also go out to each and every single one of the undercard fighters. Remember, it's not just an event, it's a camp for each and every single one of them that they've gone through. This matter was taken out of our hands. The handling of it, we feel, was totally inappropriate, given the rules, and we now look at the plans of rescheduling it.
Thank you, Calla. As we say, it wasn't a decision that was easy. Obviously, for various reasons, we won't be taking questions today, but we will be keeping you up to speed with everything as we move forward with the postponement of this fight tickets will be available for customers to refund immediately from the O2 Arena or point of purchase. And we will be back in touch with the media and the public soon in terms of this new scheduled date for this fight. Again, we apologise that we weren't able to give you this great fight on the zone, but I hope you feel that the correct action has been taken. Thank you for your time today, and we'll see you in due course. Thank you.
Yeah, let's look at it. The corporates are run off, mate. Yeah, they've run off. That's it. They don't want to ask no questions. That's it. They had people waiting for the better half of the whole day, and that's all they gave us, innit? Look at them. They've scarpered. They've scarpered. See? They're criminals, man. They're criminals. The two of them. Criminals. Bloody criminals, man. I don't even know what to say. Absolutely criminals, man. Criminals. Criminality. Criminals. Criminals, man. Just criminality. That's all it is. That's all it is, man. I don't know what to say to you, man. You know, this is what you're dealing with here. You're dealing with a bunch of criminals. They try to push something, try to do their little shifties, and it didn't work. Now they don't even ask no questions. They've run off. They've scarpered. Eddie Hearn should be ashamed of himself, man. But he's not. And the boxers try to trick us and all that stuff there. And yeah. Well, you've heard it for yourself from the official statement. They're not answering no questions. He's not suspended. They didn't clear up nothing. They didn't clear up no answers. The dad got his way. I'm glad, I'm glad that they did. I'm glad. I think Eubank senior Eubank should bloody retire. That's what I think. I think he should retire. I think he's wasting his time, man. You know what I mean? Stop lying to the public, trying to fight little guys. He shouldn't be trying to fight Conor Benn. You should see that as an embarrassment. You see? He's so desperate for the money. That's what he did. Hold on, I got a message that's come through, so bear with me, guys. See. Yeah, Kenny, press the mute button. Press the mute button on your thingy, so you're on your mic. Let me see if I can do it. On mic. There you go. Yeah, Kenny. Yeah, there you go. You got to get rid of the background of the YouTube. And turn the YouTube down. There you go. Turn your YouTube down. You should be all right. What else we got here? This is if was somebody from the Queensbury, Eddie Hearn would be saying, yeah, call for the fight off or hypocrite. Yeah, he's a hypocrite. Kenny, when you press the mic on the mic from Kenny. Kenny's getting used to it.
I did press the mic.
There you go, Kenny. I can hear you now. How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah. All right. So Ken, what's going on, man? What's your take, man?
What's going on? Should have been cancelled a long time, but for me personally, I think they're all corrupt. If this test was done and they knew the results since August, why have they let all these people spend all this money traveling? Why now? A couple of days before the fight? You're letting all this come out and you knew that since August. We're in big October,
Yeah.
That's 5-6 weeks ago. Look at all the money that guys have been spending, traveling, sparring, whatever. It's wrong. It's all wrong. Even the British Border Control are complicit. All of them are complicit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at the end, even VAR, I don't trust none of them. I don't trust them. Yeah, because look, if they are supposed to be, what do you call it? They're supposed to be transparent and they're supposed to be, separate away from the boxing organization. The boxing organization should have no power to stop them from divulging the result. If it's positive, and that's the end of it. Done. Because that's what about this B test and all this. It takes 2 weeks, and sometimes you never see the B test and all. That's all shit. It's all about money. They were going to try and have this fight, and then afterwards say that he was, he tested positive. That's what they were going to try and do.
Yeah. After the event, you know what, Kenny? Because you know what I was thinking about when the amateur did the split and the way you felt. Had enough of the sport. I remember how you felt about that. But this one, how you feel about this as a person who's been following the sport? What's your feeling on this one? I actually felt a bit depressed, thinking about this.
Really, I didn't even want to hear anymore. Once I heard about it and I kind of saw some of what you guys were writing and the little bits I was listening on the radio and that, I didn't want to hear about the fight anymore because I knew straight away. I said, "Nah, this is nonsense." You know what I mean? About suspected and all this rubbish. And then when I heard about August, that was it for me, man. I said, these guys are a waste of time. You know what I mean? It's horrendous. They were all having all these, Showdown 1, EP 2, this, that, all kind of interviews, man driving big Bentley and all this, all kind of nonsense, all videos.
The build up. Yeah.
Nonsense. And people getting excited, and then look, bang. Look at that. One day we saw them on telly and they were doing like the promo, and then all of a sudden now, bang, and like people are lost. People are supposed to be bought their bloody pay-per-view already, and it's terrible, man.
It's
bloody terrible. It's terrible. Terrible.
It's very sad. Go on.
I blame all of them that are involved in it. Even Ben, not Ben, Eubank, because he knew as well. They all knew. His manager knew. Yeah. They're all involved. Don't just look at Hearn, because it wasn't just a Hearn promotion. So they're all involved. They all knew, and they were willing. Even the British Boxing Border Control, they were willing to, sacrifice everything, and then later on say, he's tested. Look, tested positive. That's what they did with Fury. Do you remember when he ate the so-called cow's meat, and then later on after the Vladimir Klitschko fight, they said he had illegal drugs. They knew about his drug, his failed drug test long time. Yeah. And then they did the B-test. It's all bollocks. They're no good. None of them are good. I don't trust none of them. And to me, I think they've damaged boxing.
They've damaged Eubank Sr. They've sent him into the nuts house. They sent him into the nuts house. Yeah, he's in the nuts house. He got on the 3rd, he sectioned himself. Yeah, because that's why. You see, thing is, he knew as well when his son knew, right? And that's why he said they should boycott the fight. Remember, he was saying they should boycott it and it should happen. See, now it makes sense why he was saying. Everyone was like, "Why is he saying that now?" He's sectioned, man. He's sectioned. I'll put it in the group. Yeah, he's sectioned.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's sectioned like 3 days ago. Put himself in the nuts house and the thing. Yeah, they've drove the depression of thinking about one son's dead and what they're trying to do to his son. He just
Yeah,
he finished them off. It finished them off. So you know that's a casualty. Then the fact that even me, thinking that them what was trying to push it, and they done a press conference a minute ago, and they didn't want to ask no questions. They scoped like some rats, bro. It looks really bad, man. It looks really bad, man.
I'm telling you, it's all. I think it's all bullshit. All bullshit.
The British board, when it found out, they shut down shop. They shut down shop. Left Eddie Hearn out. Go on.
They should have just exposed him straight. Just expose it straight. The only way they were going to stay clean is if they had come out and said, "He failed the drug test. We suggest that this fight gets cancelled." End of story. Done. But they don't. You know why? Because people are feeding their pockets. They don't love them enough.
Well, I thought the exposure would make the pay-per-view. My man saying they were going to get like 400 to 500k sign up for pay-per-view. So the zone's lost. I'm thinking, you know what I'm thinking about? I'm signed to the zone. I'm thinking to unsign. I'm thinking to unsign from the zone. You know, after this, you know, because I'm like,
it's not. Hold on. Let me take this headphone.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's much better, man. Yeah, it's much better, man.
So, the zone, it's not the zone's fault. It's Eddie's fault. It's Eddie's fault. It's Kelly's so whatever his name is fault. It's their fault. They were trying to because they were playing big dogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had that big thing the other day that I see. I don't know where they held it, but it's some big, all superstars and actors and da all down there. Come on, man! People are wasting their money to even come to that.
Oh, the press. You talking about the media workout yesterday? Yeah.
No, the one before.
Oh, the one before? Oh, yeah. They're building Conor, man. They had Conor on all the posters and everything.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Full of steroids. It's full of steroids. He was looking to knock out. Because remember, man saying he didn't even have much of an amateur career. He didn't do nothing. And all of a sudden, he's knocking out these former world champions. Knocking them out, man. Even though they've been out for a year. It's like, why is he's blasted that man? He's blasted that man's. I'm crushing it in the gym. I'm crushing it. Man's cheat, bruv. And you know the thing is, it looks bad, man. Nigel probably knew it as well, but Nigel get to the point. He's old now, and I don't know. You look on his son, it's like, boy, what would you do, boy? What you put in the system? I mean,
let's be fair, right?
Yeah.
And we can go back to Nigel Benn, and I'm not saying he is or he isn't. But would you be surprised? No.
No, I wouldn't. No, not now.
No. I remember the night that Nigel Benn fought
Michael Watson.
Because he lost to Watson. He lost to Watson. Right, and that fight was down in Highbury, right? In the tent.
In the tent.
I was there, right? and I was living down East London at that time, and I saw Ben in the morning in his white Porsche going to get his hair done, right? And then about 4 hours or 5 hours later, I see him drive past me again when he was going home to get ready for the fight. And I'm saying, what's this? Right, and this brother, when you saw him, he looked cut. What I'm saying, but boy, this man is he really thinks he's just gonna blow this guy away. But that time, me no nothing about no drugs. I'm not thinking about drugs in
the system and stuff like that.
Everything, but it wouldn't surprise me. Thinking about it, wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, but I don't think so. But I don't want to. The drug testing.
Listen, if everybody can say that about Aaron Pryor, and Aaron Pryor never got tested and never got done for drugs, but now people are saying Aaron Pryor was on drugs.
That was in the 80s though. That I think Ben fought that fight was like 1990. But what I'm saying is that, and that was in New Jersey. They had testing by then. But what I'm saying is that Conor. The reason why I'm trying to say to you, if Nigel was a puncher from the amateurs. It was a punch from the amateurs and from the army, the Royal Fusiliers. I don't think them man train like nuts. They don't need to take no steroids. But what I'm saying is that I'm not saying I wouldn't be surprised, but Nigel was a banger from when it was coming up against the man there, Logan, innit? But what I'm saying is that his son, brother, he didn't really look like, and to me, he was a lightweight. He can't even punch that hard. All of a sudden, he's backing out man him, and all of a sudden he's beefed up, he's bulky. You know what I mean? Like I think the pressure got to him so much, that he fought. Like the guy who was gonna fight AJ. what's his name?
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know the pressure when he's fighting AJ and AJ stressed him out. He said,
Yeah.
"Yo, let me just put these two things in my body, you know. Let me done this you." That's what I think Conor was on. But the thing is, they knew this was that's the worst. They knew it from August, man. You know, they knew it from then.
That's
So that's what makes
why
it worse.
to you, I ain't got no time. That's why I haven't got no time. From you tell me it's from August, that I just lost interest.
Yeah,
I know. I'm not just blaming Conor Benn for that. I'm blaming all of them. But the most of all is you've got to blame is the British Boxing Board of Control, because you can't know that from since August and you don't divulge that information. You say you care about the boxers, you care about the supporters, you care about the people in sport. Yeah. Well, how about just letting us know that this man has been caught since August, and everybody could have said, "Oh well, that fight's off. Let's move on."
Well, Dillian White did that with Rivas, though. The Rivas fight. Dillian
White,
yeah,
he's another one. He's another one.
They let that fight happen. They let that fight
There
happen.
you go.
Yeah. They let that fight. Listen, so Eubank has said something on his Twitter. He said Conor got caught using illegal substance, so the fight is off. Yeah, I can't believe it. I really apologize to the fans and everyone who bought a ticket. Yeah, travel and booking hotels. Yeah. This should not have happened.
No way.
He has escaped his schooling for me. But listen, you're another one. You put your dad into the nut house, bruv. Because you know when you found that out and your dad, listen, you see a man there. My dad said to me, "Don't do so." I'm not gonna do it. You know, I don't care how old I am. I'm gonna listen to what my dad. Your dad says, "Don't do it."
But this is what I'm saying. You can't hold Eubank. He's not innocent because he knew.
Yeah,
he
that's
knew
what I'm
from
saying.
August as well.
Yeah, he did.
Kelly saw his manager knew. They all knew. They knew.
Yeah, they're all corrupt, man.
There you go.
It's a serious. Man, I make me doubting. You know, you see, when I watch the amateur fights and that, I like the amateur fights, but now it's like maybe they do drug testing in amateurs as well, boy.
They do drug testing in amateurs.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. You go to the internationals. Yes, they do.
Oh, I'm talking about the local, man. I'm talking about local.
No, well, some they're meant to. You can be called up at any time. You can be called up at any time as long as you become I'm an official. I'm an official. If you're an England boxer, if you're an England or an international boxer, they can come and drug test you anytime.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Yeah, but I'm talking about on the local level, like on the local.
No, not local level.
Yeah, but they should be. What I'm saying is that should be covered.
Who's gonna pay for it? Who's gonna pay for it?
Look how much money they earn in the pros. Of course, the money can filter down.
Yeah, but that's the trouble. The pros don't feed the amateurs.
They should,
remember that.
In my opinion, the amount of money they earn in the amateurs, they should filter the money down in it and make sure
the pros don't feed the amateurs. So that's the end of that.
But you see that where did the pros come from then? They started in the amateur clubs.
Yeah, they may start from there, but pro boxing, as you know, is selfish. Yeah,
I think that man should pay a little. I think man should put each club should pay a little money.
Let me put it to you this way. You work in the gym, right? You work in boxers. You work with loads of boxers, and maybe some of them have gone pro. You tell me how many of them have come in and said, "You know what, Jim? Thank you for everything you've done." Even if they give you like a £200 donation, you can tell me that, then that's good. You show me. I know, man, that I train, and the next thing they tell me they want me to buy them a ticket after I spend so many Saturdays and Sundays and nights and train, helping them get to AB8 final and blah blah blah. And then when they become a pro, they tell me to buy a ticket.
Nah, I don't know what kind of man that they did.
They come out of All Stars.
Yeah, that man there. Boy, that man is wrong.
I'm not just naming them. It's not just them. It's all of them. They're all like that. Most of them. How many of them ever give money back? Listen, let me tell you. That's why I got a lot of respect for Asian.
Ashley did. Ashley sponsor All Stars kit, and he gives guys tickets and everything.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but that's later on in his career.
Yeah. Right?
I'm talking about when they're live and kicking. How many of them come back and put anything? None. Yeah, Trust me, I'm telling you. And listen, and it's not me knocking Ashley or any. I'm talking about boxers in general. They do not do it.
No,
20 successful boxers, they don't do it.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I'll tell you who's a good guy who I know gave a lot back. Once he started to make the right kind of money, is Amir Khan. As much as I'm not keen on him, but I know that he put back. He opened up a gym, and he's, you know what I mean, and he sponsors a lot of stuff. AJ's one, right? But you can't talk about the others.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
They make millions. You don't even hear from them.
Yeah,
Come
you're
on.
right. People
Look how many boxers. Look how many of them fighters come out. Just to give you an example, Finchley, right? Heavyweights, whatever. Good fighters. How many of them come back and put anything in the gym? Come on, man.
Yeah. No, all right, fair
Joking.
play. With that, like you said, there's only drug testing in international level. That's what you're saying.
International there is, yeah. But at the same time, you as a coach, because I'm telling any boy that I train, straight, I'm warning you from now, the minute I find out you take anything, me and you done. I don't even want you to take cough medicine. If you take cough medicine, you have to tell me. I need to know.
How do you know? You're not going to know they took anything, innit?
I won't know, but it's down to them to tell me, because at the end of the day, if they then go into an international and they then get randomly tested and they're found with something in them, their career is over.
Yeah. I won't be surprised if half the amateurs, when they go for the nationals, they've took I reckon.
Yeah, you know what? If I was training somebody and I see them bulking up, I would ask them what they're taking. Don't tell me that you're not.
But not the bulking up; it's the stamina. Like, it gives you stamina.
And that too. And I know they're not doing anything different in their training. And they all of a sudden, 1 minute they're running out of gas after 2-3 rounds. The next thing they're doing 6-8 rounds. And all of a sudden, I'm saying, but this man hasn't upped his training. I don't see him doing nothing different. From I see that. And then he come and tell me that he's doing running, blah, 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 because I'll test his backside. Because I'll test it in the gym, I'll test his backside. There's many ways. There's many ways to find out what's going on. Yeah. When you tell me, because I can't believe it.
But you see, Mo, one of my guys came on this minute, he said he knows, that gym down there, Felix Cash and Conor Benn and some of them youths down in the matchroom, they've been timpering and tampering, they've been taking stuff like that. They're known for taking, them men are known for taking stuff like that in that gym down there. And I'm not surprised though, because there's a lot of money on the table and winning is everything, isn't it? And then there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure because you don't get thinking about, right, as this goes on, Ben Johnson, because I used to love Ben Johnson when I was younger from Jamaica. And when he said he didn't take that, I believed him. I saw a documentary. He said, I took it. Yeah, I took it.
I knew he was on it.
He said all the endorsement, the Nike endorsements. He said it was too much. It was too much money. I had to, man. And I was like, Conor, if you look at the pressure that Conor had on him, you're thinking to yourself, you know what? You needed all that stuff to try and beat Eubank, Who's that? Earl Austin. What's up, Earl? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, Earl, you want to jump in? You can jump in, But yeah, I'm telling you. So I can see the pressure got to him. And he started dibbling, dabbling. The problem is, honestly, I blame everyone. I blame you.
No. I'm not blaming everyone. I'm blaming the main culprits. I'm not blaming the zone. I'm blaming Hearn. I'm blaming Kelly Sordler, whatever his bloody name is. I'm blaming the WADA. I'm blaming the UKA anti-doping. I'm blaming the British Boxing Board, especially the British Box. They need to go. They're the biggest problem in the boxing. They need to go because it's all backhanders. Listen, a lot of this stuff stem back from way, way, way back. And a man like Earl and them will know when Jarvis Astaire and Mickey Duff and Terry Lawless and all them lot was running boxing in England. They had the British Boxing Board of Control in their pocket. And that hasn't changed. It's the same in the amateurs. It's like when you go to London. Repton had most of the London officials in their pocket.
Yeah, they used to. Yeah.
And I reckon they still do in some ways because they got money behind them.
Iserton's got the most officials now, and they Iserton. But I know what you mean.
They might have the most officials, but they don't carry the most weight. When them man there is talking to you, it's a different kind of chat. Yeah. It's a different kind of chat. Earl would understand what I'm talking about. It's a different kind of chat. I'm telling you.
What are you trying to say? They're heavy-handed.
It's a different kind of chat. When you're getting a chat from like Tony Burns, bless him, may he rest in peace. Right? When you're getting something from that corner there, it's a different kind of chat. They ain't asking you. They're telling you. They ain't asking you. Listen, I've been to so many fights at York Hall, and I know my man has won. And yet the man walk out losing. This is in ABAs with the house full. And a man is beating on a man in green, and the man in green will still win.
Whoa.
Man, you think it's a joke. That's why Ake was one of the first. Ake said, when you meet these guys, you have to knock them out. Take it out of the hands of the judge. Take it. That's why most of the guys in All Stars is banging. When sparring was the same. It was banging. Because at the end of the day, you have to take them out to win. Forget the point shit. Even when West Ham boxers face a Repton, I remember that there was a good kid. I can't remember his name now. Good kid from West Ham, boxer, a Repton guy, tore the pants off this Repton guy, and the Repton guy got through, and in the end won the ABAs. Yeah, it still goes on, but the British Boxing Board of Control is full of shit, and all of them need to go. You can't tell me if you're an independent body. WADA has come to you and said Ken Thomas has failed the drugs test, right? The day you get that information is the day it should come out. Not fucking 2 or 3 days before the fucking show start and people are flying in, brethren. People are flying in now.
So I said,
There's not going to be people on plane now, coming now. Oh, come on, man. This is crazy. It's nuts. It's nuts.
No, you bring a good point. I mean, when I found out, I said, but you know, my thing is though, yeah, right. You see them man, Eubank and his gambling. They already pointed it out. He's got a gambling addiction.
He's got a bad gambling habit. I know that.
And then Conor, he just wants to please his dad, and he wants to be, he wants to try and listen. He ain't nowhere near his dad, bro. Like, I don't care what you do at this point. Right?
No, he's nowhere near his dad.
I know. And then what's his name? Eddie needs people on the zone to make that money, and that Nisakala, he wants that Wasserman thing. So they've all invested, and they were going to get nice money. The thing is, I didn't think the money was going to do that good. It was going to do okay, but when I heard if this fight went down. If this fight went down on Saturday, I think they would have made a killing because people would have been paying for it, man. People would have been paying for it. I reckon people would have been paying for it. The British board put a stamp on it, man. British boxing is corrupt.
But for me, the biggest of all, forget Eddie Hearn, forget Solomon, forget whoever the zone, the biggest piece of shit out of all of this, is the British Boxing Board of Control, because they were the first to know from the testing bodies, WADA, the World Anti-Doping Testing Body, and UCAD, right? And this is another thing. It was UCAD. I think it was UCAD that did the first test, right? And they reported it back to British Boxing Board of Control.
That's right.
So they should have brought that out. I mean, even within 24 hours, that should have been come out. End of story. We wouldn't have all this shit. Yeah, you wouldn't have all these promoters and all these TV companies, and you think of how many journalists have traveled to UK for all these press conferences. Forget the people in London. There's international. There's guys from America. There's guys from all over the place. People have spent some serious money to come to this. For what? And who's allowed this? Who's allowed this? The British Boxing Board of Control, because at the end of the day, it sits under their umbrella. All of them should get the sack. Every single one of them. Bring some fresh man and bring man like me in, because I ain't hiding shit. Bring man like me in.
But you can't. But when they start wine and dine, you're done.
I'm not interested in their wine and dine.
You will be, bro. But when you're official, you have to go, bro.
Listen. British Boxing Board of Control are paid for every show that they run. Any boxing tournament that shows them that they are paid, right? They are paid as a body. Right, so you as a promoter want to put on a £3 million fight or whatever it is. I don't know what the percentage is, but they get a good cut, right? You don't need to be a body that all you are is there to sanction fights, make sure that the weights are done right, and everything that is required for that tournament to go through goes through. You don't need to come and wine and dine me, because I'm not interested.
But
I'm not interested. I've got my job already. I'm getting paid.
They're all friends, man. It's the same thing. Look, they're all friends. They know each other all the time. I think that's what it is. They have conventionally dinners, and they're talking about potential fights later on down the line. So you have to go in it. It's the same.
I hear that, but you don't have to. You still don't have to have and if you do are found to associate with anybody, then you get the sack.
All right, let me put it this way, right? So you live in London, yeah? The fight in Liverpool. Who's paying for the hotel? Who's paying for your accommodation?
British Boxing Board of Control will be paying for it.
Nah, he's not. It's the promoter.
Whichever.
No,
whichever.
it's already you're already in their pocket. That's what I'm trying
Not
to
in
tell
their
you.
pocket. Not in their pocket.
Yeah,
Nah.
you are because they're paying for it already.
Yeah, they're paying for it, but that's maybe that's part of the deal for the British Boxing Board of Control. But they're not paying for my food, and I don't have to sit with anybody.
They are. And they are paying for the food. Another thing as well. This is another thing as well. If you don't, if you don't have the fights go their way, you know what? They don't use you again. They won't use you. They'll say,
but this is what I'm saying. It's got to be you've got to be an impartial body. You can't be a body that's sitting under Hearn or sitting under.
Until they make rulings that the promoters don't pay for the dinner tables.
No, that doesn't. No. Listen, they can pay because that's part and parcel. Listen, when people are coming to shows at All Stars, you guys are paying for everything.
Yeah.
Right. You're giving them food, drink, travel, whatever. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Where I have the problem is where I'm going to sit in Eddie Hearn. I'm not there for Eddie Hearn to whine, and there's none of them meetings shouldn't happen. Those kind of meetings should not happen. Once that happens and it's found out, you're gone, and that's the end of it. Just like the MPs, you're gone.
Yeah, well, you know what? I've been saying that. Yeah, them lot come like Boris, man. Wait, you know what was surprising? Eddie Hearn, he was adamant about, nah, we're gonna bring lawyers and we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. He tried to come with the heavy-handed stuff. Try to bully up the boxing boards of control, innit?
but you didn't hear what they said. It's not done. They're going to go for them. Listen, they're going to apportion blame. They're not going to listen. At the end of the day, all this. You think Eddie Hearn's going to take the blame for this getting cut 3 days before the date? You're mad. They're going to take it straight to them because at the end of the day, they had the results. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
I'm glad the fight didn't happen.
August. Listen, August. All right, just say it's the 15th of August. They knew. That's 2 weeks in August, 4 weeks in September. That's 6 weeks.
Yeah.
People have been breaking in it, traveling here, doing this, doing live feed, doing interviews, doing this, traveling to Isle of Man, Isle of Wight, wherever they're man, they're straight, all kind of shit. For what?
It's true.
Who's out of pocket now? Who's out of pocket? All these guys are out of pocket. All of them.
The undercard, the whole undercard, the hotel, all the hotels.
There you go. There you go.
Everything.
Well, the hotels are not out of pocket because they're getting paid.
No, I'm saying the guys who paid money. Yeah, the boxers who.
That's what I'm saying. The hotels are laughing.
Yeah,
they're just going, thank you very much. Bye. Yeah. All right, you leave a couple of days early. That's okay. Bye.
Yeah, sad.
There you go.
Sad, man.
There you go. One of the biggest losers is Eddie Hearn, though. Huge amounts of money.
Him and
Kelly.
Kala, is it Kala? Yeah, Kala Salah.
Kelly, whatever his name is, yeah.
Kala, yeah, Salah. Yeah, man.
Huge amounts of money.
And the thing is, when they done a press conference, they didn't ask no questions. So right now, man is on the fire. They're on the fire. They're running like the scorpion, like rats, man. About postpone. This ain't postponed. No, sir. This is done with. And you know the thing is, it shouldn't really happen anyway. They're 2 weeks.
That fight will never happen.
Nah, I don't think so.
That fight will never happen now. It's finished.
No, I don't think so. It shouldn't have been proposed anyway because the 2 weight class is different. You know what I mean? And there weren't no real rivalry in it anyway. You know what I mean? There weren't no real build up in it. Eddie Hearn is and the thing is, he I don't know what he's gonna say to himself because people are looking at him side eye from now. And the British Board of Control, but the British Board of Control, there's no one facing that. You know, it's an organization. You can't. But
let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
Tell me who's the main man in the British Boxing Board of Control?
It's Simon Thing. He's the main guy in it.
Yeah, who is he? He's faceless because I don't know who he is.
Yeah, his name's Simon.
And that's half the problem. That's why they do all it. That's why they do all them wheeling and thinking they can go around and sneak around and meet people because nobody knows them. I don't know who the British Boxing Board of Control is. Yeah. When you go in there, it's going to be fat. Excuse me, anybody on here that may be white. It's going to be fat old white men with suits and friggin' tie and brought up in all dodgy dealers and that. They're the ones that are running it. They're the ones that are running it. Yeah, I'm sorry to say it, but that's a fact.
Yeah. They brought their cousins and they brought their cousins and uncles and nephews up in there taking it.
It's not a democratic thing where they're seeking or voting to get people on board to be the British Boxing Board of Control or whatever. You just got these guys, they're just puppets who work for this one who pays them, maybe pays him for his holiday, his 2 first-class tickets to wherever every year. He's got him in Eddie Hearn's pocket. This one's in what's his name? The other one who I don't like.
Who's that? Frank Warren.
Yeah, I don't like him, man.
Frank, yeah, well, Frank's licking his lips now, right now, isn't it? He's
Yeah,
laughing.
Frank can lick his lips, but his boy needs to get catch. His boy was caught, and
Who's
he
that?
got away with it.
Who's that?
Fury.
Oh,
His boy was caught. Yeah, but he won't say much in it. You know why he won't say much? Because he knows it'll come back on him. Not only him, even that one that keep going sick, he was caught.
Well, Billy Joe?
Billy Joe Saunders was another one that was caught. They've been all out here. Yeah. And they say they eat untreated meat. Fuck off. You think we are stupid?
Well, you know what? In anything, look, the sport has gone back now. It's a bit. Everyone feels a bit better now that it hasn't gone through. So it would have been.
I'm glad it's not gone through. You saw what I put on there. As soon as I heard that, I said, "Nah, forget it." And even if they had put it on, I would not watch it. I wouldn't watch it, and I wouldn't even watch the highlights. I just wouldn't watch it because it's a waste of time.
Yeah, well,
because to me, it has no validity. Because at the end of the day, there is a corrupt element inside this, and even whatever the result, it's not right.
No,
it's not right, and it's lost that spark. Yeah, straight away from you got that. Nah, I wouldn't waste my time and go and see that. And you know what? I knew the undercard would get cut. I knew they would cancel it. They have to, but they need to pay them boys. Them boys should demand being paid.
No money. They don't get no money.
I bet you any money. You watch. Watch.
I don't get no money. That's what they ran off. Listen. People at the hotel, all the boxers, right? Up there, I'm watching the live feed. The boxers signing out from the hotel and they're leaving. They're not getting no money, man. They're not getting no money. I
wouldn't pay the bill. Fuck that. I'd leave that for them.
No. When they sign into the hotel, maybe they pay for the hotel. Then I'm not too sure, but they're not getting no money. They're not getting no money from it, man. They said I'll talk to you later. They don't know. Everyone's doomed up. Everyone's doomed up, Ken. Everyone's doomed up on it. It's a bad experience, you know. It's a bad experience. I was trying to come in, but his devices and let me hear. There's a video that's come up. So where's he?
All right, go on. I'm gonna go and see my mum. So I'll see you in a minute. Yeah, I'm coming back.
All right, nice one, Ken. Yeah, I'll get a bit. Yeah, nice one. Thanks for coming over. Take care. Let me see this video. I've got a video here. I was trying to come in. Oh, keep trying with your phone, man. You might have to try someone else's phone and try to jump in. All right, I got a video here. So Conor Benn, I think they're talking about the drug thing. It's a big scandal. This is a big scandal.
5 pieces, broke a bunch of stories about drug users, both some alleged dealers like Memo Heredia, and a little bit of history about Alex Ariza, to just straight up users. Like I broke the story when VADA, the Voluntary Anti-Doping Agency, first came on the scene in 2011, 2012, and they caught the first 2 people out the gate that they tested, Lamont Peterson and Andre Berto. I broke both those stories.
I remember that.
But I think probably the most important story I wrote right out the gate was about Nevada, and this is a thing that still exists. It was called New York, Nevada, and the TE ratio loophole in boxing. And the TE ratio is testosterone to epitestosterone. Everybody is basically 1-to-1, but in New York and Nevada, the threshold is 6-to-1. You can have 6 times the amount of testosterone. And that stirred the hornet's nest right off the bat. That got the former athletic director, Keith Kaiser, to call me and tell me it was a hit piece and to get really upset. And that's when I knew I really had something. And to this day, that TE ratio loophole still exists.
Keith Kaiser, I do remember him very well, actually. Yeah. Nice guy, but yeah, quick to hold a grudge as well, perhaps.
I'll call him a polite guy. I don't know if he's necessarily nice from my end.
I'll vouch your superior knowledge of the man, to be honest. So before we go specifically about Ben, just explain to the viewers, if you don't mind, exactly what VADA's role is and how it differs in some respects from a USADA or a WADA.
VADA is started by Dr. Margaret Goodman and Dr. Flip Homansky. They were both the chief ringside physicians, chief medical officers Nevada, which is kind of the flagship of boxing, particularly in the United States. They designed a program that would be a third-party anti-doping agency that would be specifically tailored to combat sports, taking their wealth of knowledge and trying to apply it. At the start, they used a test called it's called CIR, carbon isotope ratio testing, which tests for synthetic testosterone. They use that as their screening test. That test is available to USADA and all the other testing agencies, but they don't use it up front, which is kind of ridiculous. They also test for EPO, which is a blood doping drug. It's Lance Armstrong.
Man, I ain't got time. That's too much information.
As I said to you, we're going to go over to the press conference live at 4:30. But talking of freaks, let's head over to someone that's already there now. TalkSport's excellent, and he is excellent, Fight Night presenter Adam Catchall joins us ahead of the words that will soon be coming out of Eddie Hearn's mouth. Adam, how are you?
Talking about freaks.
Yeah.
What I'd say is that's some introduction. That's some change. Yes, I'm very well. How are you, mate?
Do you know what I have to say? Listen, you know I'm a big.
Oh wow!
What was that?
I think you just logged off.
Oh, are you there? He's gone.
No,
So that's how you're free.
That's clearly obviously logged off.
When we did a big interview with someone, I asked a question, we heard that. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh no, that was with what's his name? That was with Tony Bellew. And I was like, "Come on," and he just went, "No," and just that was it. So
Why
Adam,
put a Manchester accent on?
Oh yeah. So Adam Catchall is at the press conference. Oh, he should be joining us again now. Adam, are you there? Can you hear us?
I'm good. They put me on video this time, mate. They obviously want to see my pretty face, so hopefully you should be able to see me on your screen.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That'll confirm what I said earlier about the word freak. Listen, honestly, sorry, you know I love you. I saw you yesterday. I think it was on Jim. I saw a clip on social media doing the rounds. You were very animated, understandably, about where boxing could be going if this fight isn't going to be postponed. We still don't know one way or the other what's going to happen, but you're there, you're on the scene. We've got 25 minutes just under until Eddie Hearn addresses the nation, the press, etc. What do you think is going to happen this afternoon?
Well, initially, I genuinely thought that the injunction that they were seeking would have been upheld, and therefore this fight would be going ahead at the weekend. But the general consensus on the ground here at the Fighter Hotel is that is not going to be the case, that this fight will be called off. We've already seen plenty of the undercard fighters who were staying at this hotel leave the premises. Conor Benn himself, when I arrived, was putting his bags in the back of the car. He was making his way home, I imagine. Eddie Hearn left shortly after that. We're being told that Eddie Hearn will be back with us in around about 15 minutes' time to obviously, as you've just said, address the nation. So the general consensus within the Fighter Hotel is that this fight between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn will not be going ahead. In fact, I'm just being handed something right now. I can read you this right now if you want, gentlemen. This is just being handed.
Of course. Yeah. It ain't happening. Let me call. I can call Margaret Goodman. Let me call her, Dr. Margaret Goodman. She's from Vasada. I've just quite called her Dr. Margaret Goodman. She's the one who actually does it. Let me
listen. She ain't gonna want to talk to you, man. She don't want to expose herself.
Nah, man.
She ain't gonna want to talk to you, brethren. Trust me.
Nah, bro. Hey, bro.
Yeah,
This is what I do. I do all the time. I do this all the time, bro. Listen. Yeah, man. Yeah. You
on this one, everybody wants to keep quiet. Yeah.
Nah. She's the one. Obviously, they're the one who actually found it. On the testing, obviously, they found the testing. They sent it to the British board, and I'm like, what do they expect? I want to say about the B sample and this and that, because them man there are talking their rubbish. Because everyone knows the A and B sample, they know it's there. Oh, the A samples come out of that. I mean, what do you mean? Like, what's going on? See, all you gotta do is call the people who run the organization, and they'll tell you what you need to know. Because they're not scared. They're not scared of these sanctioning bodies. That's much.
Yeah. Listen, if they weren't scared, that information would have come out a long time.
But they gave it in August and then let you do what it is. But I think one of Frank Warren's people must have put it out there. That's what I think.
Nah, mate. Yeah. Yeah, because
they work in the British board. They work for the British board as well. And when that came to the British board, Frank
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
people to, and they said, let me keep it there. And if they're not going to pull it out, we're going to pull it out a couple of days to mash up their thing there, to mash up their little show. And that's what they did.
Have you noticed how quiet Warren has been since this
Yeah,
come out?
because he's it was them.
Because he set it up. I would not be surprised.
No, that's why exactly. So if I call them not in Nevada, they're gonna say yeah, we found that Conor Benn had took the illegal substance, and we gave the findings to them in August, and that's what we did. I'm sure that's all I want is I goes, what about the B sample? They go, we still have that here, and if they ask for it, we give them that as well. But if they have it, they haven't. We still have it. That's what I was expecting to hear from her. And that's all. You know what I mean? Like,
what they need in the British Boxing Board of Control, they need independent bodies inside the British Boxing Board of Control.
Yeah.
They need a selection of people. When they have these things, they go to these people who don't sit directly in these bodies. They might have about 8 of them. 1 of the 8 or 2 of the 8 are going to get the results, and then they should be in a position to release the result. Inform the boxers or whatever, and then say within the next 24 hours this will be released. Then there's no stopping it, and that's the end of it. Just give it to the press.
I think you're right, but the boxing board and the boxers knew about it, and all parties wanted to go through. So
that's what I'm saying to you. This is what I'm saying to you. So they're all corrupt. So that means the actual boxing board of control is not. It says it's the British Boxing Board of Control. It's not actually controlling shit.
Nah.
Because they're all in the pockets of the associations or in pockets of the promoters or the managers or whatever. Yeah. So that's no good. You need to be impartial. And then when the results come out, 1 of the 8 or 1 of the 10 will get the result. You've got 24 hours to make it known. I then have a list, and I will divulge that to the British Boxing Board Association and all the media outlets. End of. There's no none of this. You found with your drugs. You've then got an opportunity, 24 hours, to then come out and say, I'm moving my boxer, he's been found guilty, blah blah blah. End of story. End of story. That cuts out all the bullshit, all this shenanigans that they got going on now. It's all a load of nonsense.
Yeah, because the British board didn't want to put their foot down. Let's hear from this man here a bit more.
Off you go.
After discussions with various parties, we have taken the decision to formally postpone the bout between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. It is undeniable that the British Boxing Board of Control's decision to withdraw the sanctioning was that's just fallen off. That was a flaw without any due process. That remains a legal issue between the promoters and the board, which they intend to pursue. However, whilst there are legal routes to facilitate the fight taking place as planned, we do not believe that it is in the fighters' interest or those involved in the fight to pursue at such a late stage. There you go. There's the official word that has just come through. That statement coming in from Matchroom and from Wasserman that Conor Benn, Chris Eubank Jr. is off this weekend.
Catman, you just read out the statement there. And listen, Eddie Hearn was singing a different hymn sheet yesterday because he was adamant the fight was going to be on and saying all this, that, and the other. But today, what do you think's made him now realise and come to, obviously, the realisation that this fight shouldn't be happening?
I don't want to guess at what is going through Eddie Hearn's head. Hopefully, he'll be joining us in about 10, 15 minutes, so I'll get to speak to him and ask him those questions up front. I'm glad that we're in this situation, that this fight isn't going to be progressing at the weekend. Sense has prevailed. Obviously, the British Boxing Board of Control, the sanctioning body, pulling out of this fight yesterday, saying that the fight was prohibited, is obviously a key factor. It was good to see Eddie Hearn earlier on today put on social media that he would not pursue other ways of being able to put this fight on, i.e. going to Luxembourg, for example, for a license and using that. Yeah. And I'm glad that we're in this situation now, that I'm here to be able to tell you that fight is off. I don't want to guess what has happened. I'll hopefully get to speak to Eddie and I'll relay that to you before you boys finish your programme at 7 o'clock.
Adam, how long have I got you for? I don't want to keep you.
Because well, he's on the run. Eddie's on the run. You ain't going to catch him. He's off, man. He's gone back to Essex, bro. Gone back to the Matchroom mansion. I mean, he's got the security. He ain't answering no questions, brethren. None of that. He's off, man. The damage has been done, and he's scarpered, mate. The embarrassment and the stain is all there, man. It's like a slug. See the slime. See the slime trail.
I think this could be the end of Ben Jr. That's what I think.
Oh yeah, but yeah, of course, because
I think so.
because you can't,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
I
saying?
think
Because
so.
no,
That fire won't burn anymore. You know what I mean? He's definitely gonna get if it goes, he'll get banned for 2 years.
yeah.
He'll get banned for 2 years.
Let's see what Addy has to say. 'Cause we got another guy here, Addy. He's there as well. Let me.
Now, staying with that, we're going to stay talking about boxing for a time.
The fighters, but listen, it's the right call in my opinion. I think it's 100% the right call that the fight goes off because for one, you've got to protect the other fighter. Say in this regards, Chris Eubank Jr. Spencer Oliver, we had on yesterday talking about how hard it would have been for Eubank to make the weight. So then when you add this into the mix, it's 100% the right decision until they do obviously a formal inquiry and they find out what exactly is going on. The test has come up positive for a reason, unfortunately, for Conor Benn. So you have to take it seriously. We can't obviously speculate as to what's gone on, but the moment there's a red flag, and there has been a serious red flag in this event, then you have to take it seriously.
There's a situation where the British Boxing Board of Control maybe make that decision. They made their decision. I think we all saw the statement from the British Boxing Board of Control. And I think rightly so, the promoters have followed suit on this one. Yes, maybe too late. Maybe we wanted it
6 weeks too late.
That has now sort of come. And look,
6 weeks too late.
The card fighters are going to be the ones that hit the hardest. These are the ones that are not earning millions. You know, some of them are living paycheck to paycheck. They don't have sponsors. They miss out now. They've been training for 3 or 4 months. There's a lot of them sort of just dotted around here at the press conference who are bitterly disappointed. And hopefully, somehow they're compensated, whether it be financial or put on other cards.
And do you not think that the public should decide whether or not the card still goes ahead? You know, you can either have a full refund or you can go and watch it.
No, I don't. I think the sport, look, it's a sport I love, but it's a dangerous sport. And I think that's
the undercard, not the main event, the undercard.
You know what? It's a strange one. I get what you're saying because there will be some fans of those undercard fighters, but I think 99% of the people had come to watch Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. Okay. And it's a very big arena, 20,000 the O2 Arena holds. There's no point having 500-600 people in there. I think we move on. And I guess the big thing is that DAZN and Matchroom have so many events where they can sprinkle these fighters on other events in the next sort of 3 or 4 months.
Ade, I mean, listen, I've not spoken to you since it happened, but what was your initial thoughts? Listen, you know both fighters really well, but when you first heard the news about that Conor Benn, obviously they'd found something in his system, what was your initial thoughts?
Surprise and then disappointment. Surprise because, look, I worked on this event. For me, personally, this would have been probably my biggest event, especially over here in this country. You know, and it was almost a privilege to be on the event. So surprised and then bitterly disappointed. Disappointed for Chris Eubank Jr. I think sold the event so well. I've been lucky enough to have done a few events after the fight was announced with Chris Eubank, and he's been fantastic. And obviously, disappointed for the match with DAZN. I'm a boxing fan first and foremost, and this is the fight I really want to see. But at the same time, we know it couldn't have happened. Honestly, it couldn't have happened. If someone fails a drugs test for VADA, I think the best thing is to pause the event, as they've done now, postpone it, and let's find out what's going on.
Do you think the fight...
EJ.
Yeah, there's nothing more to say. Yeah, no, EJ,
even listen, that guy, I think that guy comes from Ghana or Nigeria, right?
Nigeria, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Even that guy, imagine the guy's flown over. He's been over here for months interviewing. He was the one that did the interview with the 2 fighters.
Yeah, that's
face to face, right? He's been here for months doing all the promos and look at what happened to him 3 days before the big. Come on, man! I would be fuming. I would be fuming. Listen, there's no way Eddie Hearn ain't paying me some money because I'll take his ass to court.
Well, he's been paid. But he gets paid every time he's there. That's not.
No, I don't business. You got to pay me for the disappointment, for the mental stress. You got to pay. What are you talking about, man? That's what I'm telling you.
Oh, bruv,
they got to dish out some money. I promise you. A lot of them, listen, a lot of these fighters have got lawyers. They're not going to let them get. Well, listen, it's his boy that's been caught with drugs, right? It's his part of his promotion, and he's on DAZN. All them man that's been training for 3-4 months, right, and got all the expenses, sparring and whatever. They haven't been paid yet. They've shelled out so much money.
There's no legal thing in boxing.
It doesn't. Listen. Hold on. Listen, there's always a first time. Remember, the British, listen, if they don't get sued, the British Boxing Board might get sued. Why did you take from August to now? You could have done this weeks ago. This ain't over. This ain't over.
Who's got money to sue them?
What you mean? You'd be surprised on some of these. They're going to get some of these barristers. Some of them barristers who know the law will do that on what? Listen.
Your career's over. Furthermore, they're poor. Now look, they've been.
No, I'm not talking. Yeah, no. Wait. If they sue them for the, we mean poor. They don't have to box with these guys. They can go and box abroad. They can go and box in Europe. They don't have to box here.
Listen, it's not happening. But what I'm saying is, it's a good gesture, but it's not happening. There are boxers going to be sprinkled other shows, and you're right. Maybe they get a little bit of change, and that's it. They get.
I'm telling you now, Eddie Hearn has to pay their man there, or they'll have a huge problem. I promise you.
Not just Eddie's, it's the Sowling as well. They probably pay them something.
They have to pay them some money. I promise you, because boy, listen, like I said to you, if one of them QCs does it on a pro bono basis and take them to court, he'll rip up the British Boxing Board of Control. He'll rip up Eddie Hearn and he'll rip up Wasserman. Trust me, there's nothing they can do. And like I said to you, from the minute you say you have that since August, you haven't divulged that. You waited 3 days before the event. Come on, man, you're having a laugh.
Yeah.
You're having a laugh. You yourself have broken your contract, you know. Because listen, it's the same way they wanted to put pressure on Chris Junior, right? About his weight and saying that they were. Listen, apparently the British Boxing Board of Control were weighing him every week.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Right? So you're doing all that. So the last 3-4 weeks you're doing that, knowing that the other fighter has already got a drugs. Oh, come on, man.
Longer than that. That's let's go back. What you just said there is important, right? So remember, let's go back, right? You said August, yeah. So when watch this? When did they start promoting this thing here? About 2 weeks in, right? 2
months ago.
All right, so listen to this. That's why he was yamming up the food. That's why he was eating the food and going on stuff, because he didn't have to.
Because he knew.
Because he didn't have to make the weight no more.
Exactly.
He didn't have to make the weight no more. That's why.
Exactly. But this is what I'm saying to you. All of them should get by. A good lawyer coming there on a pro bono.
So they were lying to the people. So they were lying to the people about the weight they was going to come in, right?
Yep.
Because they knew that he failed the drug test, but they were still going to let him go ahead and fight, even though my man knew he had steroids. Is that right?
That's correct.
Crazy. That's crazy. They're out of order. They're out of order. I might sue myself because I'm pumped up right now, man. I'm pumped up right now.
There you go. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. If they don't pay their man there, and a couple of them just say, look, wait, we're not having it, Eddie. There's going to be a couple of big trainers there, and they think, you know what, fuck you, mate. I won't get paid. Yeah, this is all because of you or the British.
I got sign for you. Yeah.
Or they'll go to the British. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Some of them that are sitting on that British Boxing Board of Control now either resign or they lose their job within the next few weeks.
Listen to this, right? If they knew from August, maybe the undercard fighters, maybe some of them knew as well. Maybe they go look. These guys.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I doubt. I doubt it.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
No, they'll keep that quiet.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm gonna say.
Remember, they wanted it to go ahead. Is a paper that released it, you know. Is the Daily Mail that released it.
But I know that. But listen, but you don't hear no undercard fighter. Look, you're more pumped than me than the rest of the undercard fighters. They're not making up no noise. Why is that? None of them are making up no noise.
Because they didn't know.
I think they know, man. I think some of them might have known. Not all of them. I think some of them might have known. Yeah, maybe. And that's what I think. Yes, that's what I reckon. This stinks of corruption. They come like the WWE. It's a fix, man. It was gonna be a fix here. You know, they're cheating the public and they've been found out behind the curtain, right? That's what's going on here, and that shows the underline of what goes in boxing. This lying and cheating, scheming, scamming. Nah.
But if you ever listen to Mike Tyson tell you the proper story about promoters, yeah. Listen to Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, he will tell you. Even Don King said he's a camp. He'll tell you he don't like Don King at all.
Yeah,
even now.
I know he's gonna beat him up, but Mike's crazy.
Yeah.
Though. Mike's crazy though.
Mike.
Yeah,
Mike might be crazy, but the man was ripping him off.
Brother, Mike, listen. Mike's crazy, yeah, because you see Mike, yeah? Mike beating up Robin Gibbons. Who tell him to beat up Robin Gibbons and get himself sorted out? That was him, you know. Don never did nothing. That was all him. He go rape up the Desert Russell, beat up Robin Gibbons, he did all that himself. He's the one who chose to go with Don. He chose to go with Don King. That's all him. He got to take responsibility, right? And then you don't like it because he robbed you. But let me tell you something. Mike was on a budget when he was with Bill Caton and Jimmy Jacobs. They had him on a budget, right?
Yeah.
And he had to go up with them, and they had to ask.
You think they didn't rip him off as well?
Yes, no, hold on. But them man paid £1,000 for sparring partners all the time, so they were going to make sure they got their money back. Yes, of course they were. But they put him on a budget so he couldn't outspend. And Robin goes, "What's this? He's a grown man. How can you put him on a budget? I want to look after his money." And that's where she jumped in. And then Don King saw her jumping in. That's when he jumped in. And Mike never said no to nothing. So Mike has to be hold accountable. Nah, man. Listen, all these boxers here, and Eubank Jr., I hear what you're saying, but I blame him for running his dad into the mental hospital. I blame him. I blame him for. Your dad told you don't do it, and you went against your dad. Now look at you. Now look at you. You look like a fool. What's up, PMC?
Oh, what's up, man?
Yeah, Ken's here. Say hello to Ken, PMC.
Hey, what's happening, bro?
How you doing, man? What's
good,
it name? Ken?
Ken, Ken.
What's up?
I'm good, man. I'm good. A bit pissed, but I'm good.
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
I was looking forward to that, but then
yeah, me and EJ was breaking it down yesterday about why that boy was eating steaks.
The man they just mess up the program, man.
Hey, PMC, go ahead and go talk your piece, PMC. Go ahead.
Nah, man, it's good. That's good. They stopped it, man. But yeah, I agree. I think they were gonna go along with the fight until it got public. You know, because it got messy with the Dillian White thing, because they knew about it. And the reason we're not getting the B sample is because the fighter's not requesting it. You know, that's the reason we're not getting it. They trying to make it seem like it's up to this VADA, but VADA will test the B sample if the fighter requests the test. You know what I'm saying?
But you see, you're surprised about the UK because remember you were talking about the UK. You had no faith in the UK. You're saying that the UK is dirty, but now what you hear, the UK is up in arms. No one's on this thing. I told you, like, there's a lot of people with integrity out here, PMC, that they don't like this. What's going on? And you know, obviously, Eubank's dad is he's stressed himself out. He's in a mental hospital. You know, people paid money, hotel tickets. They've been put back. The undercard's been put back. It's a big disaster, man. And on top of that, the British Border Control, as Ken's pointed out, they knew about this from August. This is a big thing what's happened here, and it's not easily forgot about. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree, man. But I think this is gonna when they put this fight back on, I think it's gonna make it even bigger, though.
You think it should go back on?
This fight will never go back on.
After the service suspension, yeah. Once it clear things up, might as well.
This fight will never go back on.
I don't think so, PMC.
Nope. This fight is dead.
Yo, man, who is gonna fight?
You have to go back and fight welterweights. This fight is dead.
Yo, man,
it will never happen.
I don't know, PMC.
It's lost its fire. People have lost interest. Trust me, and I know British people. Yeah, when you disappoint them like that, they're not interested.
Nah,
once they see that, because look at me, I'm a supporter. I like Nigel Benn. I've always liked Nigel Benn. I like the way his son fights. But for me, it's tainted. I'm not interested. Even if they had the next fight, I wouldn't bother. And I know there's a lot of people that like me that wouldn't bother.
Yeah,
because I'm a purist.
Yeah, but you'll watch it though.
I wouldn't watch it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't watch it. No, I'm serious. I wouldn't watch it. Nah. Because to me, it's tainted. You're already telling me that you've taken drugs, and I haven't got time. I don't have time for that. It's tainted. No matter what you do, you cannot bring it to where the levels it was 2 days ago. You cannot.
You know, that's how PMC feels about Dillian White.
Yeah, but I'm more interested now after the controversy, though.
What do you mean? What do you mean, PMC?
No, I just want to see Conor Benn get his ass whooped now.
You see, this is what I'm trying to tell you. This is what people want to see. I'm trying to tell you, man. He's like, yeah, bro. I think he's turned himself into a villain right now. But I think he
is a villain. What do you mean? He is a villain. He's a villain, definitely.
Yeah, so
but like I said to you,
now I want to see him get beat up.
Chris Eubank Jr. has now not done himself any favors because what he them saying that he knew about this 3 weeks ago, or how many weeks ago it was.
Yeah.
They should have. Listen. None of it tastes good because it's like they're talking, but they're not thinking. Okay, we knew about this. First of all, we knew it's going to get cancelled. He got done for a drug thing. Then we find out it happened in August. August was 6 weeks ago. Do you know how much business has been done in the last 6 weeks? You know how many hotel rooms man go and sleep in? You know how many interviews man has done, getting excited about this fight? How much guys have been training, starving themselves, keeping their weight down, training. Managers not sleeping, staying at home, or sleeping with the guys, not going home to their wife and kids. And you mean to tell me you wait until 3 days before the tournament is going to happen and release the fact that, oh, he's been done for drugs, and then you find out the thing was way back in August? Come on, man. Yeah. You're not talking about the other day, and you're not talking about a Mickey Mouse fight that's happening in your local gym. This thing was worldwide.
Yo, EJ, you got to bring up the rules, the VADA rules regarding the B sample, man, because that'll explain everything.
What they explain is that when you take a test, yeah, they split them in two different things. That's all it is, right?
Right.
They have the A sample. That's what it is. It's split in two. So they have the A sample, and then the B sample they put away, and then obviously they test the A sample, and then obviously their findings, they put their findings out. Now, if you question the A sample that you don't think is fair, then they say, okay, we'll bring the B sample and they do that. But it's usually going to be the same, isn't it? So what it is that the promoters are trying to be sneaky and use these different wording and stuff like that. It's not that macho. It didn't do this. It's a woman's thing. All these things they try to do. They try to slip and slide, and they realized that it's actually getting worse. They should have like Ken said, they should have, when they found their findings in August, they should have put that out there, and they should have said, until further notice, we're just gonna investigate, find out what's gone wrong, and then that's it. But you see, what it is, they try to prolong this, and it's made it worse. It's made it worse on the sport. And the British Board of Control, to be fair, they've come out. But you see, the thing is, because they pulled out of it, they're the main reason why this is not going in. But at the same time, they should have did this time ago, to Ken's point, and I agree with him.
Listen, the British Boxing Board of Control has criticized the WBA, WBC, IBF, they've criticized all the associations for the way that they handle their business and the way that they rank their fighters and everything else, right?
Yeah, go on.
You are in control of a national body for boxing of a country, and you're telling me that RADA or WADA or UK anti-doping have advised you in August, and remember, you're the controlling body, and no fights can take place without your authorization. You knew from August that this man has failed a test. You didn't even call for a second test. That shows you their what do you call it, their incompetence, right? The guy's already been, all right, his A sample comes out. Straight away, if I was on the board, I'd say, I want his B sample tested and I want it now. So even if I'm not going to let the news come out today on the 15th. I know about it. Get it tested, and I want the test within the next 3-4 days. Okay, he gets a B sample. Because the A sample and B sample are no different. It's the same bloody weed. Yeah, they just put it in two different tubes and they keep one, and then they put one in the fridge, right? They test it. If it comes out, you can't hold it for 3-4 weeks and wait for it to deteriorate, because that's what they're waiting for, right? You get it tested. Okay, B sample is clear. That's different. When it sits in there for free, you don't know who's tampering, you don't know who's taking out the fridge, you don't know if they've added, you don't know nothing. Because it's at the end of the day, who's in control? You don't know who's in who. I could work for WADA or RADA and want a matchroom come and give me 50 grand. Yeah, I need you to clear this test. We don't know. I'm just speculating.
No. You got a good point.
Yeah, I'm just speculating. It's wrong.
Yeah, but you see what I've got here. Anthony Fowers, he's on the undercard. He did Twitter. He heard about it this 2 weeks ago. Like I told you, some of the undercard fighters, they knew about this. This is what I'm trying. I knew it already. What's up, Happy? Like I tried to tell you, I knew they knew about this, right? So what I'm saying is that it's been leaked. And what it is they wanted the money. The British board wanted to get a payday. They wanted to make money. Everyone wanted to make a payday of it.
Well, now they need to get the sack. That's
what they should. You know what they should have did. They shouldn't have done all the drug testing. They should have both of them let both of them load up with drugs and let them fight. That's what they should have done.
No, you can't do that, man. You can't do that.
Well, what they did, they done. They tested themselves, and that's why they do the testing. And the thing is, like you said, the British board didn't find that. It was the world antibody they found something on them. So what's that saying? Their testing's rubbish. That's what it's showing you. Their testing's rubbish.
Man, they probably knew he was cheating. That's probably why this Eubank's dad didn't want him to.
There you go.
He knew.
That's
He
what we're
didn't,
saying.
and that's probably why Eubank probably paid for the testing for both of them, for all we know.
Yeah, the dad probably paid for the testing for both of them because he didn't trust Ben, and that's what's clapping. Ben been out there doing his shifties, and that's why. And then when he found out, he said to his son, "Look, see, he's cheated," and he said to his dad, "I'm still gonna take the fight," and that's why his dad went into the mental hospital. You know that PMC.
Okay. I hear you. Yeah.
See,
I hear you.
You know PMC, the Eubank Senior's in the mental hospital right now.
Yeah. But you know what? Also, Eubanks didn't even want to fight for Ben. He was like, "Man, this is a dangerous fight. You probably shouldn't be taking this fight."
Yeah, well,
remember in the press conference, he was like, "Man,
all I can say is good luck to all of them. Yeah,
I'm concerned
all
for
I
your
know is
safety too."
I've lost my interest in
Yeah, I know. Eubank. Listen, Eubank Senior is a good father, but at the same time, your son's greedy and he's a habitual gambler. You know what I mean? He's what do you call it? A degenerate gambler. Degenerate. He's a degenerate gambler. Like he's got addicted, and Conor's addicted to tattoos and I don't know what Conor's addicted to, but the two of them.
Well, we know he's addicted to some fertility drug, isn't it? That's what we know now.
Yeah.
It's really sad. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's really sad.
And he just doing that to keep. Go ahead. All right.
Yeah, but for me, I'm kind of coming off from the pros for a little bit, man. I'm gonna stick with the amateurs for now, man. I can't be bothered with the pros right now because it's just a joke. Even the Tyson Fury AJ thing, that's a joke. All of that is nonsense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come on, man. You know what I mean? It's all rubbish. I'm fed up with Tyson Fury. I have been for years. I'm fed up with all the shenanigans that goes on with with the title fighters. And you can never get it straight. You never know who the real champion is.
Right, because they keep playing games. They rather beef on Twitter and make stupid videos and stuff like
bullshit,
that.
Man. Then they bring in. I mean, WBC is the worst. First they bring in a WBC gold belt, then they bring in a WBC international belt, then they bring in a WBC silver belt. So who the fucking hell is the champion?
They got a Queen Elizabeth belt now.
Yeah,
you serious?
Yeah. For the women's fight, they got the Queen Elizabeth belt.
Oh,
represent Queen Elizabeth because she passed away. Yeah. With Savannah Marshall and
there you go. So now just making belts for the fun of it. You know what I mean? That's why it's so confusing. You know, if you have the 4 champions. When they've got 4 definite champions in the seat, or they've got 4 1 and 2s, then 4 1 and 2 should all fight, and then the winners out of the 2 contests fight each other. Then you've got a number 1. That would make boxing so exciting, but they're all scrambling for money. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that because for me, I don't want to see AJ versus Usyk again.
No,
because that's going to be a waste of time, right? I would rather see AJ fight Fury. But I'm telling you now, Fury don't want it. I don't care what anyone says. All that bravado stuff he does, he doesn't want it. And the reason he gives these ultimatums, the ridiculous ultimatums, is because Tyson Fury has no way got the amount of sponsors and backers as somebody like AJ. AJ is the money, whether you like it or not. Usyk wouldn't have made the money that he made if it wasn't for AJ. None of them would. None.
Facts.
That is fact. He is the gravy train. Whether you like him or not, he is the money man, and he's built himself up. Okay, he's lost a couple of fights. He's made a few mistakes, but give him his credit. He's never really kind of made excuses. He's like when he lost to that guy in Madison Square Gardens, he never made excuses. But everybody could see something was wrong with him. I could see it. You could see it. Just watch his face and think, nah, something's wrong. Yeah. And this is early, even before I even threw a punch. Just watch his face in the corner, and you think that's not a man that's ready to fight. Something's wrong. Yeah, but he lost. Okay, he went to Saudi Arabia and he did some imitation of Muhammad Ali, running around the ring at 16 stone and jabbing and moving, which didn't impress me at all. Yeah, but he won the fight. Then he fought Usyk, but Usyk for me. Everybody, I think, even I underestimated him. I didn't realize how good he is and how much he's developed, but he's very, very good. And he's perpetual movement. And AJ just doesn't have the footwork. Same as Dylan White doesn't have the footwork. Same like many of them, they don't have the foot. When you've got a guy that's fast and move, and he's got the head movement. It's very hard to track him down, and plus it's hard to punch down as the taller man. That's why you ever see AJ coming down, he's trying to get to his height, because it's very difficult for a big heavyweight to punch down. You say go to the body, but when he goes to the body, he exposes himself.
Well,
And what's his name? Just use it.
Wait, Lennox Lewis them now, no problem, no short guy. He used to
Yeah,
shoot
how many short guys did they fight? You go and look back. Not many. There was only a few. Ray Mercer, and most of the guys they fought are big guys. Very few. Tyson was one of the shortest. You go and look at their fights.
But he used to deal with
short.
I know, but he used to deal with them with the uppercut. But
but who? Which short fighters? You name them.
Oh wait, Glenn McCory, he busted him up.
Glenn McCory was not short. I know Glenn McCory. Glenn McCory is tall as me.
He's shorter than Lennox Lewis.
Yeah, but not by much. I'm talking about guys that are 5'11", like Tyson, them kind of height.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said short.
But but I'm talking about these guys are short. Usyk is a small heavyweight.
Andy Joshua had the wrong strategy.
Ray Mercer is a small heavyweight. You look at Ray Mercer, small heavyweight. Tyson, small heavyweight. These guys are short.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is Joshua had the wrong strategy when he's fighting against.
It's not only the wrong strategy. He doesn't have the physical. He's got the physical attribute. He doesn't have the movement. He can't move.
You don't have to move. You don't have to move.
He doesn't have the movement. End of story. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it.
Them trainers
he's got the tools. He's got the punches.
Them trainers ain't gonna. The trainer ain't no good, right? If you had a better trainer,
but you can't listen. You can't hit. You can't hit what you can't catch.
Listen, I'm telling you, if Manny Stewart was in the corner with AJ, you'd have knocked him.
Yeah, that's if we got. I'm not doing the ifs. I'm not going back the ifs.
Yeah,
I'm not going back the ifs.
I was a dead. To me, it's a dead certain. If Manny's in the corner, with
no,
AJ,
well, I'm not going with that neither. Even if Manny was in the corner, you can't make. If listen, the time frame that they had to get AJ to do this stuff, he's not going to do it. That needed to be happening from time. Listen, I'm going to give you an example. Frank Bruno used to come to All Stars, right?
Yeah,
you know, stop Frank Bruno from coming to All Stars. Terry Lawless. You know why?
Why?
Because when Frank Bruno used to come down, one of the first things that AK used to make him do is move. When he used to spar with us, it's pure movement. Because Frank Bruno never had no movement. I wasn't, listen, remember, I was a novice. I was a raw novice. I was a raw novice with 2-3 fights. And I'm sparring with Frank Bruno. And I'm peppering him with shots. And he can't hit me. I won't lie. When he catch you, it'll slow you right down. Yeah, when he caught me, it slowed me right down. Yeah, but if I had the ability, or if I had the strength at that time to do 8 or 10 rounds with him, there's no way Frank Bruno can beat me. Because he hasn't got the speed. I'm in and out, hit him, and he's just going, and he's looking at his corner. Yeah. Because when I went down,
let me ask a question. Was you amateur then or pro?
I was an amateur.
All right, so now what I'm trying to say.
I only had 3 fights.
Exactly.
I had 3 fights.
I know exactly. So you listen, if you put you in there, because you're fighting like amateur, right? If you put you in there as a pro, you're not beating Bruno. Bruno will knock you out.
No, you're not listening. No, I didn't say no. What I'm saying to you is, if I had trained, forget about whether I'm a pro or an amateur.
If you was a pro and you went in there and done them amateur things at Bruno knocked you out within 5 rounds.
Bruno, listen, I'm telling you now, if you got the speed, he cannot touch you.
You can't keep the speed up, man.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, as an amateur, but if I was training as a pro, I'm gonna train.
Yeah,
of course I'll be able to do 10, 12 rounds.
You're still not.
You don't have to. You don't have to run from Bruno. You don't have to run from Bruno. You know. You don't have to be on your toes, jumping around the ring. You can walk away from him. He's that slow.
You already pointed out when he hit you, drain you up. So he's gonna hit you.
He hit me, slow me down. I didn't say drain me up. He slowed me down.
Yeah, slow you, drain. Yeah, make you tight. And that's what I'm saying. So if you fought him in a pro thing, he would have got you. But
you got it, but you're just looking at him. You're not looking at me. You think I wouldn't grow as well? I'm bound to grow. I'm bound to grow. Listen, I hit as well. You know, I'm not just running around just throwing taps. That's not my style. That's not my style.
No, that's fine. What we was talking about is what we were trying to say is the strategy AJ fought against Usyk was wrong. Now Usyk beat him, and that's it. That's it. But what we're saying is that AJ, right, the way he fought him, in that manner how he fought him, is not how you fight Usyk. It's not. Right, you to beat him that is a southpaw.
He cannot do it. There's no what manner he wants to do it. He hasn't got the speed. He doesn't have the footwork. It's as simple as that.
It's time. You don't need speed. It's
as simple as that.
It's just timing, and he fought.
Exactly, but you need footwork. If you can't move, listen, did you watch AJ cutting down the ring?
He didn't.
He was following him.
They didn't teach him.
No, listen. He was following him. You know why he was following him? Because he didn't have the speed to cut him down. Because that's not what he does.
Yeah, but they didn't teach him that.
Exactly.
I know, but
It's not only teach. He doesn't have it. He can't do it. It's not.
He never. Listen, I know AJ. I know who AJ was sparring in there. He was sparring amateurs in there, right? Hamza sparring amateurs there, and they were beating him up in the sparring partner. And the trainers never picked him out. They used to come in there. They used to beat the hell out of him. They were. Hamza told me straight away. He goes, AJ's not winning that fight. He ain't winning that fight because he got an amateur from Repton and he's a southpaw and he was just doing what he wanted with AJ. The same thing.
That's what I'm saying to you. This is what I'm saying to you. He hasn't got the footwork. If they're not, listen. If let me speak. If you haven't worked on the footwork and he's not developed as a fighter, right? If they're just relying on his raw power, which is what they were doing, because to me, AJ never grew in all the years, even up to when he fought Vladimir Klitschko, nothing had really changed. After he beat Vladimir Klitschko, nothing was added to his repertoire. He didn't bring nothing new to the fights. And in fact, some of the fights after Klitschko were boring because he wasn't doing shit, right? Yeah. Even though he was the champion, he didn't bring nothing new to the table to show people, well, I've learned this. No, nothing. So you know that as you're going elite, you're going to meet guys who have got far, greater skills. You yourself have to develop as a fighter. But if you don't work on your footwork,
I'm not disagreeing with that.
All right, I'm going to shut down because I've got to go soon. You had the first fight and you realize that you haven't got the footwork. You know you're going to the second fight. You got coaches there, or they say they got coaches.
No, he hasn't. Right. That's what I'm trying to say to you. He hasn't.
Exactly.
That's what I'm trying to say. So you're talking about the improvement. He can't do it by himself. And I'm telling you, he had the wrong coaches. That's all I said. I didn't say he had the wrong coaches.
But there was no way he was going to win that fight because he didn't bring nothing in.
With them two trainers in the corner, absolutely not. With someone else, maybe a different.
Nah, it still won't. It won't happen. Trust me.
I disagree.
All right. Well, wherever he goes, and apparently he's staying with what's his name. I know. I can guarantee you.
Yeah.
Listen, he needs to go with someone totally new, somebody who's got a total dimension. Them man, they're just going to rely on power. They're just going to rely on power. You see, like Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce is the reason Joe Joyce is successful is because he's got a serious engine on him and he can take a shot. You don't think
the trainer has nothing to do with that, nah?
No, but Joe Joyce has always had a strong chin and he was always a big guy. Nothing's really changed in what he does.
The trainer
nothing's really changed in what he does. What's he doing different than what he done as an amateur? Nothing.
The trainer. Listen. See, the thing is, the trainer helped him out in that fight. He told him to step it up. The trainer said,
"No, I understand that, but what's changed? Have you seen? I don't. All right, he throws quicker. He was throwing quicker shots on the inside. But what's really changed in Georgia? Nothing.
No, nothing changed. Nothing really changed.
Nothing. That's what I'm saying to you. So nothing's been added.
No. But
and he reckons he will be. He would beat Usyk. I'm telling you now. Yeah, but Usyk will jab and pop him up all night. He doesn't want to knock him out because he knows he possibly can't stop him. But when it comes to boxing, he will bust him up.
Well,
no trouble.
I put money on.
Usyk ain't gonna stand in front of him.
Yeah, but he's
out.
He's old as well. They're old.
Who's old?
Usyk's old. 35.
What's 35 got to do with anything?
Yeah, because you get old overnight. You can't run all the time. You can't run all the time. You have to stand and fight. And he hasn't
had no hard fights. He hasn't had no hard fights.
He might get one.
EJ, he hasn't had no hard fights.
Yeah, when he gets Joe Joyce. Derek Shore gave him a hard fight.
Who?
Derek Shore gave him a hard fight for a couple of rounds.
Yeah, but that's one fight. I'm saying he hasn't had many hard fights.
Yeah, I know. But what
I'm saying, he hasn't had many hard fights.
Yeah, but you can't.
Them guys are having hard fights. Chisora. Listen, Chisora is not far from getting KO'd one of these fights. He's had too many wars.
Yeah, I agree.
That's way too many wars.
I agree with you. But what I'm saying is that when he fight Joe Joyce, he at some point you're gonna have to stand with the man. You can't run the whole time. And when you have to stand with him, you're gonna get clubbed up, bro. You're gonna get clubbed up and taken out. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I just think what's his name? I think I rate him. I still think he's beatable. I believe that he's beatable by any of the top heavyweights, as long as they can add something to their footwork and change the angles that they hit from. Then they can hurt him. And once they can get to the body and slow him down, they can beat him. But if you're going there and you ain't got the footwork to get there, if you haven't got the footwork to get when you're cutting off a ring, you need to get to that corner or that side of the ring before the guy who's circling gets there. And if you can't do that, you've got no chance.
You would have been perfect for AJ in the camp because you would have showed him that. But this is what I'm trying to say to you. Even you know that right now, and you not even.
Yeah. I see it.
Yeah, but this is what I'm trying to
listen.
But this is what I'm trying to say to you. That wasn't relayed to AJ in the corner by his bed. You know why?
Come on.
Because you know why?
Well,
you know
if
why?
that's not, I tell you what, if that's not related to him, then he's got some real shitty
All right,
trainers.
I know that was related. I'll tell you why. One of them, he met Angel Fernandez, who sent him an email and said, "I'm good at pads." That's how he met Angel Fernandez, right? That's how he met him. Yes, this is what I'm trying to tell you. And then he met Robert Garcia. Robert Garcia is a world trainer, but he does featherweights, right? I think the maximum is about welterweight. He ain't got no heavyweights, so you got two trainers inexperienced at heavyweight boxing. You, my friend, would do a better job of training AJ against Usyk than they would, and that's what I try to tell you. AJ has what it is. You pull it in what you need to do, and go, look, this is what I think you need to do, and you work on it. He was getting pepped up by the southpaws and the sparring by the amateurs, and he had no confidence in there. So when you saw him in there, he was fragile, man. He wasn't too sure about what he was doing. But anyway, we can leave that already. But anyway, this Eubank thing right now, it's a black eye on the sport. We're happy that it's been cancelled, but going forward, Eddie Hearn, we got eye on you, Eddie Hearn. Frank Warren's laughing his head off, and British boxing is on a downer right now. It's on a down slide.
Big time.
It's on a down
Big
slide.
time. Just that one fight has messed up everything.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's
just that
like,
one fight.
And you know why? Because they're still trying to push the issue. Like PMC pointed out, he still thinks the fight's gonna go ahead, and but me, I don't want the fight. PMC still wants the fight to go ahead. Yeah, but I know. Go ahead, PMC.
Tell PMC to be man.
No. He's right, because in America, in their mind, it's like guys get done for PTs and they run it back. But in my opinion, I don't think they should do that. I think they should just leave the fight where it is. But anyway, hey, I'm gonna brack out as well.
I'm gonna brack out as well.
Yeah, thanks for coming over.
We'll link up later. Right, listen, nice one, guys. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
Nice. PMC, nice one, PMC. Yeah, for coming over as well.
Yeah, all right. I'll catch you later. Bye.
All right, man. Take care, bro. Peace. Yeah, so that's it, man. Me and Ken got into a discussion about AJ, but to me, it's is what it is, man. So you bring different people in, maybe get a different result, but it is what it is. AJ, and let me see any news actually real quick before I go. Any new Eddie Hearn, is he actually gonna talk to Kugan Cassius or anything like that? I doubt it, man. I doubt it, because he's just gonna get grilled. In fact, I think he's gonna avoid this situation for about a couple of weeks. Just stay away. Let Frank Smith deal with all the media obligations and stuff like that, and just let it, because it's a painful situation, man. It's a painful situation. I can't see him talking to anyone. Can't see him talking to anyone right now. See, there's no interviews here. I'm on IFL. See, Kugan has been okay. He's got Sauler. He's got Sauler. Let's see what the Sauler. Okay, he's caught one of them. He's got Sauler. Let me hear what he says.
Last, I appreciate, Calla, that you're on your way out, but I appreciate you giving us a couple of minutes of your time just to update on kind of what's been happening over the last 24 hours, more so. But yeah, you gave a statement today with Eddie Hearn today. Can you just kind of address that, what you spoke to the media about?
I mean, it's more or less say what I said up there. Obviously, come from being with Junior this morning and this afternoon. He is absolutely gutted. He was ready to fight. He was on weight, despite all the pre-fight banter and different posts that were put out. But he was absolutely on weight and ready to fight at a super tough camp in just the most difficult of conditions for him. So that's my first and foremost thought right now, together with all the guys and girls on the undercard, who each and every single one of them have gone through a camp to be on what was supposed to be a huge night of boxing on Saturday night. Just pure disappointment for them.
Calla, can you make comment on whether it was discussed that a different board could have been involved in order to make this fight?
Yeah, it was absolutely discussed. It was looked into. until even this morning between all parties. And we looked at different things, but we also looked at, and ultimately, like, we wanted to follow it from the beginning to the end, to the letter of the law. And the matter was taken out of our hands. We still feel that the handling of it was inappropriate. And it's something that doesn't sit right. Ultimately, it's now at the stage where we look at rescheduling it, and that's something that we'll address now.
What needs to happen in order for this fight to be rescheduled? What do kind of all parties need to be happy with in order for this fight to take place at some later date?
I know you'd ask me a question that I can't answer, but right now, ultimately, Chris was ready to fight, but there's a process to go through now, and there's lots of ins and outs of that. It'll be a 2-hour discussion now. I am in the process of looking at everything, but it is, as I said yesterday, it has been taken out of our hands.
All right, just the final one, because I do appreciate you are on your way out. Obviously, the undercard, have you got a word for that? Because there was a lot of boxers that were your boxers and Matchroom's boxers that were scheduled to fight.
I said at the beginning, I mean, I can only speak, I speak for all the boxers in terms of the disappointment from our side as Wasserman Boxing, or let's say the Eubank side of things on this event. And I'm knowing all our guys and girls, how excited they were, the camps they come through, just gutted, just gutted from. But we'll have them out very soon, and but it of course isn't the stage that they wanted to have on Saturday night. But we move on.
Appreciate your time, and when you have a further up.
That's all it is, man. I don't know why you're disappointed on the British board, mate. Yeah, you knew. He's probably upset that they knew, and they should have locked you off from a long time ago. It's too late. Yeah, it's too late. Oh, the conversation with AJ, yeah, it's done. But anyway, thanks you guys coming over. So the update is Chris Eubank and Jr. and Conor Benn is called off due to the failed drug testing by Conor Benn. Conor the Destroyer Benn. I'm EJ Boxing Live. You guys have a blessed day. Take care. Peace.